All right, Bulldogs. So today I'm going to be talking about something that I think is really, really important if you're going to achieve your goals in life. Most people are not able to achieve the goals that they set out to achieve. They just fall a little bit short. A lot of my friends, a lot of entrepreneurs out there, a lot of people that don't have the correct mindset, right? Again, a lot of this is the mindset that we would have from Stoic philosophy. If you haven't already, check out my series on Seneca's letters to Lucilius, where I go through all the letters and do commentary, and that really will give you the understanding of Stoic philosophy. But what I want to talk about today is basically this idea that too many people, right? Probably, you might have done this as well. I've done this from time at different times in my life. But once I figured out how to stop doing this, it totally changed my success in life. Too many people, what they do is they change objectives and missions too fast. Right? And so what do I mean by this? I see this all the time where someone has this idea. They have this idea of this goal that they're going to achieve, right? And it might be a goal of something simple like losing weight or getting in shape or taking up, let's say a martial art or a sport or running a race, something like that, right? A fitness goal, it could be something like that. It could also be a goal, like a financial goal. There's a ton of these different things that you could say that someone is, even just the smaller scope of a project, to undertake, a way to make money in your business, right? But many people, what they do is they don't pursue it hard enough and long enough, and they're constantly changing these objectives. They're constantly changing these missions, right? So, I can give you an example here, just from my own experience and my own success in life, right? Before I adopted the philosophy, more of the Stoic philosophy of sticking things out, of having that Bulldog mindset, I would often, take on projects, take on things, get bored with them and stop doing them, right? I've talked about being a finisher before, and this is a very similar type of thing, but what ended up happening was that once I started finishing what I started, right? Once I started sticking things out to the end, I started finding a lot more success, right? So if you look back, when I started out doing real estate investment, right? it was rocky, right? And since I started out, it's been how many years that I've been investing in real estate, buying properties. Eventually, I've reached success in that area. Maybe some better examples would be things like writing a book. Okay, I've written a couple of books now. When I started off writing blog posts even, I sucked at it and I wasn't very good and I wasn't getting much traction and no one was reading what I was writing, but I just kept on doing it. The same thing with this YouTube channel. I started making videos and I kept making videos and I kept making videos and I'm still making videos and the channel is growing. I've been pretty consistently like running and lifting weights for at least the past 7 years, but really most of my adult life, right? There's been some periods of inconsistency in there, but at least for the last 7-8 years, I've hardly missed a workout, right? Literally, I am running at least 3 times, sometimes 4 times a week now that I'm training for a marathon, and I am in the gym lifting for about 2 hours a day, 3 times a week with maybe in the last 2 years, maybe I've missed like 1 or 2 workouts. I'm sticking it out. I'm not changing my objective. I know that if I want to build a physique, I know that if I want to build a business, I know that if I want to build a YouTube channel, I know that if I want to write a book, I know that if I want to become a writer, right, that I'm going to have to stick things out, and I'm going to have to stick them out a long period of time. I guess what prompted me to make this video, and it's a little bit disconnected, I know, it's fine, but I keep on seeing it in my life. I keep on seeing people that are not being consistent with their objectives and their missions, and they're switching those missions and objectives so fast, right? I've got friends that want to get in shape and they want to build physiques, right? And they want to build muscle, but they're not willing to go and do what it takes, right? Sometimes they are, and they are for a short period of time, but are they willing to consistently, move towards that goal? And sometimes what this means, right? And a lot of times what this means is it doesn't mean that you just stick with the thing. it means that you stick with it and you keep adapting and figuring out what's working and what's not working, and you keep on making the changes that you need to that are going to move you towards that goal. I've struggled with this myself, with trying to get to where I want to get with my physique. But every year I'm getting better. I'm coming back better. I'm looking better. I'm getting leaner. I'm retaining more muscle. I'm getting more to what I want to be, right? Because I keep on making these adjustments, these micro adjustments, and I keep on staying the path, even when it doesn't feel like it's working. And so I see a lot of people that are in my life that are, they're shooting for these goals, and they won't make those adjustments. They won't do what it takes, and then eventually they sort of deprioritize it, and something better comes along or something else comes along, and now it takes their attention away, right? Now they're pursuing this goal, now they're pursuing this mission, and they're not going to see that one through all the way. It's a big problem because it's like, I've talked about this example perhaps before in another video, but I'll use this example again. This idea of digging a gold mine, right? And building the mine. Okay, and getting all the equipment to mine that mine, and all the work of digging down those mine shafts and getting some gold out of it, but then stopping because you feel like there's not enough gold, or you miss the excitement of building a new gold mine. Okay, and so instead of going down deep into the gold mine and finding that mother lode and extracting that gold and getting the benefit from the infrastructure that you've already put in, the time and the work and the effort that you've already put in, you move on and you start a new gold mine over here, and you say, maybe there's better gold here. And then you create another gold mine and you say, maybe there's better gold here. And now there's nothing wrong with having multiple gold mines, but you want to get the first gold mine running. You want to get it operating. You want to get the gold out of it. You want to get your investment back from it first, and it takes a certain amount of time. It doesn't make sense to invest large amounts of your time and your resources on half achieving goals, on being 90% of the way there, on not being a finisher and not getting the benefits from that, right? When the benefits can be exponential if you will just mine the same mine. And yes, it's boring to mine the same mine sometimes. You got to be able to stick it out. You got to be able to grind it out. You think it's fun for me to write blog post after blog post for years, right? Or to create YouTube videos every single fucking day? It's not always fun. I mean, I enjoy making videos sometimes, of course, but it's a grind. It's a grind, especially when you're not getting any traction, right? All of these things are grind. You think it's fun? You think I love just going to the gym, 3 times a week and busting my ass for 2 hours? Now, sometimes I enjoy it, but more of the time, I hate the shit. It's a grind. It's a fucking grind. Training for a marathon right now, I'm grinding out a lot of fucking miles, okay? For 3-4 hour runs. Sometimes it's a little bit enjoyable to go for a nice long run, but mostly it's a fucking grind. So life is a grind. You have to be able to grind it out. And if you change your mission too fast, if you give up on your objectives, if you think things aren't working because you're just not grinding long enough, you're gonna think that nothing works in life. And things work, okay? You can get just about any goal, to any objective that you're trying to achieve, you can get there if you're willing to stay the course long enough, and you can stop yourself from changing objectives, from digging new gold mines. I hope you're getting the idea though, right? It's basically this. It's that you've just got to stick with things, and you've got to hang on, and you got to hang on tight and change direction and go with the flow until you actually hit the objective. Otherwise, you're just going to be wandering. You're just going to be constantly failing and constantly feeling like you can't ever achieve any of your goals, and just have a trail of failure behind you because you haven't stuck with it long enough. You might be 3 feet from gold. That's a good book, by the way, like I said, is You Never Know How Close You Actually Are. Sometimes we stop 3 feet from gold where we almost were there. If we would have just pushed it a little bit farther, we would have made it and we would have had success, but we gave up just a little too soon. So, all right, that's all I've got for you today, Bulldogs. If you have not already, click that subscribe button down below. Join the Bulldog crowd, the Bulldog mindset, and change your life. Transform your mind and develop the stoic kind of attitude that is going to get you where you need to go in life. All right, click that subscribe button. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.